Hi, welcome to another episode of FaceTime with Lalari. I am Lalari, and if you're new here, this is a video series where we talk about everything and nothing. I hope you enjoy. So lately, I've been reading this book called Credence, and it's so weird, but it's fine. That's not the point. The point is that the girl starts talking about what is home, and that is something that I have been thinking about for a while. Well, yeah, for a little bit since I moved to Oakland. I used to live in San Francisco and then I had to move to Oakland because of different reasons. So I have been thinking about what is home. Is it like a city? Is it the people that you're around? Or is it a feeling, right? And that is exactly what she says. She says home is not a place, home is a feeling. However, I do think about like, okay, it's a feeling, but like to me, it's the feeling that people that you're around give you. So I think a home could be your partner, it could be your friends, right? Your community, that could be your home. And I don't know that I necessarily like that. I feel like I've been trying to think about this because I don't know that I like that, because that means that you're putting your happiness and that sense of home onto other people. And when you put that sense of home onto other people, I feel like it's similar like when you put your happiness onto other people. I don't know if that makes sense. You can't control it. You can't control how other people act and if they decide to not be in your life anymore. So if that happens, then what? Like you end up without a home and then not having that sense of belonging. So I think that that's a very tricky situation. I don't know if anybody has had that experience, but I feel like I certainly had, and it's something that I am trying to process and trying to say, okay, well, what was home before all of this? And yeah, and maybe it was the people. This whole time I've been putting all my happiness and the sense of home onto other people, and I don't think that it should be like that. So I've been trying to think about what are the ways that I can make myself a home, if that makes sense. So I think it could be anything from making your home or like your house or where you live a little more cozy. And it could be making it cozy. It could be like, setting more lamps so you're not using the overhead lamp, so you're using more indirect lamp that makes it more cozy. Maybe hanging up pictures of you and your friends or you and your family, or pictures that you've taken of the places that you have traveled to or that you like. Another thing that I've been thinking about is having new beginnings, right? Now that we're in the new year, we all say, oh, new year, new me. And sometimes I would fantasize about, what it would be like to, start again, start fresh from everything. And it sounds cool at first, like just thinking about it, but when you're actually going through it, it's not that cool. Just because, or maybe, yeah, no, it's not. I feel like, at least for me, I am a creature of habit. I feel like all humans are, and like you're in your habit, you are in your routines, and I feel like if you disrupt that, it can be very painful. It can be very painful, and having to rewire your brain into doing other things and changing that those habits and those routines, it can be painful, and it takes work, and it sounds fun, but it's not. I feel like it's not. I recently had to go through some changes, and I moved cities. I went through a series of changes. So I'm like, this is why I've been thinking about like, what is home, and like starting again and having new beginnings. I feel like this is it's very painful. It's very painful, and not just in the sense of like, oh, the things that I used to have, I don't have anymore. It's more about, I talk also about the pain of having to rebuild everything, having to rebuild your home, having to create new routines, and having to find happiness in those routines, and yeah, finding new happiness, finding joy in the new things that you're doing, that you're creating. And I think one thing that is important when it comes to really rebuilding is having goals and having, I guess, milestones that you want to reach related to those goals that you set for yourself, because that definitely gives you, I think having goals gives you one direction of where to go, and also purpose on what you're doing this for, why you're waking up every morning for, right? And like, it's really hard. That takes me to the next thing that I have been thinking about is purpose. It's like, not to get too existential, but like, what is my purpose? Like, what is the purpose of all of this? So I feel like a lot of people find purpose in having kids and raising them kids and leaving that as their legacy. But then for someone who doesn't want to have kids, like me, what could be my purpose, right? And I think that that's where those goals become really important. Otherwise, you end up with feeling like you don't have a purpose in this life, and that's really depressing, and it makes it really hard to wake up in the morning. So yeah, I feel like having an animal or like a pet really gives you some purpose for every day. A lot of people like really shit on like emotional, what do they call it? Like emotional support animals. But I feel like they do serve a purpose. Like it does help, or like the psychiatric support animal. I'm not sure, but they do. It is real. Like having a pet around that will remind you to do your everyday tasks and actually get out of bed and go on with your day, it really does help. I know that I speak from personal experience. I feel like if I didn't have my dog, I would probably like not get out of bed, or like maybe not walk outside and get some sun, and which helps with like depression and other things. Not to dish out all of my mental health issues, but I think that it does help. So yeah, I think that is a small step to having purpose, is maybe having a pet around that will allow you to, okay, this is what I want to do every day, or like I want to take care of this being every day. So that is a purpose that you have every day. But also having those goals, I feel like that helps. And I think another good way to find purpose is finding a community. I think that you could find community by doing things that you like or exploring new hobbies. So for example, I took on running not too long ago, and I signed up for my first half marathon. I mean, it's not the first half marathon that I've signed up for, but it's the first one that I'm actually going through with. I think this is the third one I signed up for. So I guess the third one's a charm. So yeah, it's going to be in LA. So I'm going to do my plug here. I'm running the LA charity half marathon, and I'm raising funds for the Angel City Pit Bulls. And they're a rescue for pit bulls and kitties. And they educate the community, and they help relocating or rehoming pit bulls and kitties that need a home. So yeah, if you would like to donate, I'm going to leave the link below. But anyway, that is my little plug. But that is an example of finding community. So by running, I could join a run club, which I might once I get a little faster and I build more endurance. I feel like I will join a run club, and that will be a way to meet people that have same interests. And yeah, I think that that's very helpful, and that's one way to do it, to find community and find a way to have purpose. Anyway, I didn't mean this vlog to be so depressing or to be depressing at all. So yeah, but those are the things that I have been thinking about lately, and just like, what is a home, and like, what is my purpose, and what am I supposed to be doing? Just because I feel like I'm at this like fork. Is it a fork or a Y in life, where either I stay in tech or I go in the other side of the fork and try to go on a side quest and try to pursue other things that interest me. And I think maybe this is the universe giving me a sign of maybe I should go pursue this side quest. However, I feel like I am not in my 20s anymore. I feel like your 20s are the time to go on side quests and make mistakes and try to explore and see what you like and what you don't like. And I feel like your 30s are for you to like grow and keep doing what you chose. Or is it society really telling us that that's how it's supposed to be? And like, am I limiting myself, or are we limiting ourselves by following that belief that our 20s are for trying things out and exploring, and then our 30s, you're not supposed to be doing that? And I don't know, if you really have an itch to explore something and you're in your 30s, I think that you should do it. I mean, you hear about all these stories about people starting later in life, and that is them going on a side quest, right? So yeah, maybe I'll go on a side quest and do it. I don't know. I'll keep you guys posted. Anyway, those are my thoughts for today. I hope you guys enjoy them. And if you have any thoughts about it, questions, comments, leave them down below. I would love to engage in conversation. As always, leave an emoji if you made it to now. And thank you so much for listening to me. And I hope you enjoy this episode. And I'll see you soon. Besitos. Mwah.